just when you think the growth workshop can't get any better, you get to end your day with Reggie Harris. Reggie here, I'm so glad you're here. I'm just not even going to describe what you're going to do. You're going to tell us about your last session of the growth workshop. What are we going to end our day with?
Yeah, I love that you started with get to, by the way, because it's all about the mindset and the energy. And it's not you have to, it's that you get to. You get to work on your personal brand in our session. So what we're going to talk about is something that everybody looks at. You always hear that people have a dream, but they don't have a playbook. And that's what I based my business on, was that everybody's got a dream. It doesn't matter how big, how small, where you're from, where you come from, where you're going. We all have a dream of what we want to do. How do we get there? In today's environment, today's society, it is all about branding. It's all about your personal brand. And we take it for granted as individuals, especially because we don't think we're celebrities, right? We're just everyday people walking down the street that you run into and meet, and we don't think about our small businesses or ourselves as a brand. But guess what? You are. When you walk into a room, how you're dressed, how you carry yourself, whether you're intentional about it or not, says something. It is a brand, it reaches out. So in today's environment, we hear a lot about name, image, likeness because of college sports these days. And we see these kids that are now getting these big, huge deals. Funny thing about that, if you look at, I have a son that's 14 years old, eighth grader, getting ready to go into high school. They already had the parent player meeting for incoming freshmen. And part of that parent player meeting was taking care of your social media and what your image looks like online. So if a 14-year-old is doing that, playing sports, how important is it for your business to be crafted that way? And how important is it for you to be able to figure out what I like to call that branding for the win, right? So it's personal brand. It's that, what do you want to stand for? What does your business stand for? Doesn't matter if you only know five people, you have a brand and you want that brand to say something specific. So you'll see me a lot of times in logoed apparel.
Mhm.
Typically, it's a team that I work for, or it's my actual company brand. There's a reason why I do that. It's because I want you to remember when you leave, I want you to remember who I am so that you can go tell somebody else, because that's the key, right? Tell someone else. So I know in Nevada, you guys have a small town, but this is and it took it off my desk. This little thing right here,
Mhm.
that goes worldwide with the touch of a button. Used to be we had to go buy advertising and we had to go take out newspaper ads and we had to go on TV and we had to get on radio. Well, guess what? Nowadays, I can reach the entire world from right here, and the entire world can find you right here. So, we're going to talk through some of the different ways in which you can apply that to your own personal business, personal branding, and leverage assets that you already have and you're just may not be aware of them yet. By the time we finish with our session, you're going to be thinking of a million different ways in which you can promote your own brand, establish yourself, utilize your own personal network to grow and enhance that even further.
So I'm going to put you on the hot seat for a second. What do you say to the person who says, well, that's fun and that's cool for somebody who wants to be an influencer and somebody who wants to be out there, but I'm an introvert and I don't want to be out there. So therefore, I don't really need this session and I can leave and go home early. What are they going to miss if they do that?
First of all, you're going to miss my charming personality, which I think that's enough in and
That's
of itself.
enough.
If that won't keep you, uh, that doesn't keep you interested. Your business, your personality, I don't care if you send out mail from your home and never come directly in contact with a person, your brand is still relevant. In fact, I would tell you it's more relevant and more important because you're not able to sit there and directly have interaction and exchange. So you have to be even more deliberate about your brand and your positioning because how are they going to find you? How are they going to know what you're doing? How are they going to know that your products or goods or services?
Mhm.
How do they know? So even if you're a solopreneur working out of your basement and never come in contact with anybody and just ship, send, whatever, there's still a reason for you to communicate to people because otherwise they don't know who you are. And if they don't know who you are, they can't find you. And and again, in today's society, it is easier than ever to go out and attract attention, which is why it's so difficult. Because it's so easy, you have to be intentional about it. You have to pay attention to it, even if, like you say, if you're the, and I'm going to tell you, I enjoy speaking in front of audiences and speaking in front of crowds. But you know this about myself. I'm an introvert. I
Mhm.
don't like being around a lot of people all the time. I don't like necessarily engaging one on one with people all the time. But in order to be successful and communicate the message, it's a requirement. And if you have a message, which all of us have a message that someone wants to hear, that someone benefits from, you got to be able to craft that personal brand to bring that out.
Nice. Yes. One of the reasons that I invited you for our first growth uh, workshop is because you have a real clear understanding about brand exists and whether you put it in, whether you control it or not, it exists. And so you help. Well, your primary clients in your business are professional athletes. So these are guys that focused on just being the best football player ever, right? And you feel help them go, hey, there's a brand here. How do we package that? And I think for those of us here in small towns, we don't realize that we have a brand and being able to leverage that already exists. You know, nobody, I don't want to be a TikTok star. Never my intention. So when I think of personal
Right.
branding, I think of being a TikTok star, and so it doesn't apply to me. But what you're saying is, yes, it does, and it's already there.
It's already there, and it doesn't have to be social media and TikTok. There are other things that you can do with your brand, and we're going to go into some of those things. Excuse me. Um, we're going to go in and talk about some of those things that you can do if you're not tech savvy or you don't want to be on your app all day, you don't want to be on social media all day. There's still things you have to have some digital presence. Okay, you can't survive in today's day and age without some digital presence, but there are still a lot of things that you can do outside of there about your personal brand. Like I say, it could be something as simple as what hat you wear when you leave the house every day, or what color shoes that people are known to see you in. And maybe you like to wear wild, crazy socks, and that's what people know you for around town. And there goes the crazy sock guy. But there are little things that you can do here and there that make people remember you. That's the key. That's what branding is. Tell you a quick little story. I was out with someone yesterday and we were discussing brand and logos and the importance of them. And I lifted my foot up and I asked them what the swoosh on Nike stood for. And they said, just do it. It's like, close. That's the slogan. But what does the swoosh stand for? That swoosh, in and of itself, tells a story. I don't know what the swoosh stands for. I don't know where it came from, but when you see it on my shoe and you see it's an Air Jordan and you think just do it, and those things come into your mind, it's the same for us individually. When we walk into a room, we say something, whether our mouths are moving or not. We are saying something. You want to be very deliberate about that. Don't let other people define it for you. You want to protect and craft your own personal brand.
And you're gonna give us some takeaways. Don't tell us now, because as they're
Yeah.
gonna be, you gotta be there to see it. Some takeaways, some
Yep.
actual things we can do, right? It's not just, hey, you need to have this. We're gonna actually have some action steps we can take at our after hours, even
Yep.
to and
Yep.
the rest of the events during small town business days in order to implement this stuff, right?
Right. And it's not going to be hard. In fact, you're going to want to do it. You're going to enjoy doing it because you're going to learn a lot about yourself in the process. You're
Right?
going to learn a lot about your personal network in the process. It'll be a lot of fun, but yeah, I might give you a little bit of homework, but we won't look at it as homework. We'll look at it as breakout action to take your business to the next level.
Fabulous. I know I'm gonna be there. I'll be screaming in the front row, fangirling all the time because I know every time I talk to you, I learn more stuff. So May 9th is our growth workshop. It is how we are kicking off small town business days for May 9th and May 10th. You can find out more information on our website, nevadamomainstreet.com. Check it out and make sure you sign up today. Thanks, Reggie.